I thought that a visual example might better explain why so-called lost boys exist in polygamous societies, so I created this infographic. There are 10 each of men and women to represent the average population. You'll notice I have labeled the groups as Generation 1, Generation 2, and Generation 3. So Generation 2 would be the children of Generation 1, Generation 3 would be their grandchildren, and so on. So here we have representatives of 3 generations. Now we'll start matching them up in marriages. Brother Bob is a good man. He pays his tithing, goes to church, and donates his time. So, over time, the prophet gives him wives. The same with Joe and Matt, Sam, Al, and Dan. Now, some of the girls in this first generation were married to men from former generations, so they aren't available to the boys their age. Let's mark them off the list. What this means is that there are, for the sake of our example, 4 boys who have no girls available to be given to them as wives. As we shift our attention to the second generation here, we can see that 5 out of the 10 girls are already given to men of the first generation. This means at least 5 boys have no girls available for wives. Now, good Brother John has been found worthy of being given wives, as has Brother Fred, Brother Jim, Dee, and Hi. As you can see, there are just not enough girls to go around in a polygamous society. Junior is some good brother's faithful son, so of course he is worthy, and so is Zach. You can see how this is a problem that compounds over time. There isn't a surplus of girls, and over time, as patriarchs seek to grow their kingdoms, there just aren't enough girls for all of the men to have even one wife. So what happens to those boys who aren't lucky enough to be considered worthy of a wife? Some leave the religion and make their own way in life. Some are kicked out and not given a choice in the matter. And some, sadly, never reach adulthood, as there have been far too many young boys who have died in industrial accidents, working in dangerous conditions where they simply didn't belong.